Cool. Andrea's still doing pretty well this week. Update on the plan is we're making sure she's not just manic at the moment, that she's actually doing better, and we'd like to get her back to work in January of next year, so that'll be when I go back to streaming regularly. Thank you, Not-nabbin. All these videos are going to open with like, tons of subhype.
You're super awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
You're awesome, dude. Thank you. Alright, so this is where we need to go, so let's go in that direction. Bring the microphone closer to my face so y'all can hear me. How was everybody's Halloween, for those of you who celebrate Halloween? Posted some pictures from, we went to Polar Brewski's house. That was pretty cool. I really dig this game. It's really well made. It's gonna make it kind of hard to claim Game of the Year from Breath of the Wild. I like it quite a lot. It's really good. I think it's as different. Thanks, Leon. Appreciate it. I wonder if this is an actual path, or if it's just revealing something that's there when it's invisible, you know?
You're super awesome. Thanks.
Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, I really dig it. I think it's as different from the rest of the body of 3D Marios as, you know, Breath of the Wild is different from the body of 3D Zeldas. It's kind of its own thing. Apples and oranges, kind of hard to compare them directly. And I guess it's probably a little bit closer to Mario 64 than Breath of the Wild is to, the closest thing is Ocarina of Time, I guess. But the model's really cool. I like being able to possess enemies. It adds a lot of cool level design space. Feels really open, and I think one of my favorite things is they've just removed a lot of the bloat. Whenever you open a menu, it resolves basically immediately. When you get a star, or a moon in this game, it just says, you got a moon, and then it's done, and lets you keep playing. It doesn't pull you out of the game for long text boxes, that sort of thing. Awesome, Yukupo. Had to make sure it would interrupt me. Exactly. What is one thing that if I could possess in real life, I would? That's a really hard question. Yeah, if you really like Mario 64, you'll probably like this game a lot. Galaxy was kind of a departure from 64's design. It was much more linear, less sandboxy. Banjo-Kazooie with 3 kinds of pickups instead of 10 billion. That's a smart way to put it. Oh, what was awkward about your Halloween, Sornus? There's a sharp divide between those who are into it and those who aren't in New Zealand. That's interesting, Prop. Pretty much everybody's into Halloween. There's some religious people that are kind of weird about it. That's cool. Just spent the level understanding how this purple goop works. Alright, so knock his head off, right? Can I not jump on his head? Alright, there we go. Roger, roger. Camera seems great. They've learned when to take control of the camera away from the player, I feel like. And then if you never touch the camera button, it seems to work just fine. I'm doing a boss fight right now that would be annoying if the camera wasn't moving on its own. Thanks, Six Gun. Huzzah, indeed. Did you get health? I don't think health ever drops in these fights, though. Oh, disregard. If it's gonna drop, that's where it would be. It was one of those rocks. But you've had no camera problems even playing through the whole game, Yukipo? That's great. Camera's such a big challenge, you know? Oh, so cool news. Obviously, we'll know more about this as time progresses, but Andrea and I went to a Rotary dinner. Had like a potluck for people in the Rotary Club here in Los Alamos. And I had recently given that talk about Games for Good. And there's somebody at the local University of New Mexico who like controls courses there, and she really liked my presentation and wants me to teach a course at UNM. In like a general education, anybody can take it. I can charge whatever I want. You know, they kind of just give me a classroom and a place in the course list. So I might do that. I was doing that with one of Andrea's coworkers. She had an Astrophysics for Everybody Gen Ed course that was mostly attended by retirees, because those are people that can take time out of their day to go do it. So maybe I'll get people to submit like their history with video games, so I can kind of gauge what the class is going to be composed of. If it's all retirees, it would probably be, here's how to play video games. If it's people who already play them, it might be more on games as art. That's giving me trouble. Oh, you had Halloween party awkwardness, soreness. That's a bummer. Yeah, I didn't even think about that part of it. Yeah, have people just given up on quality? Do they not care? I had that when we got laid off and they asked us to keep working in a shipping industry, where it's like, why would we care about mist sorts anymore, or getting everything done on time when we're all going to lose our job in 2 weeks anyway? Once I find out more about the teaching gig thing, it's not like I don't have a degree to teach, so I can only really do these super simple community education classes, so I'm going to get like, you know, $50 maybe after I pay to them, but it's still kind of cool to have somebody want me to do that. I don't mention it often, but when I was young, I kind of wanted to be an English teacher, and then I didn't have any money to go to school, so I didn't do it. Andrea is obviously super excited about it. Yeah, I think you'll dig it, Eisen, especially if Mario 64 was your favorite and the camera troubled you. They really nailed the camera, and it's a hard thing to get right, you know? Are you gonna get as much value as you can out of unemployment soreness? As much as that situation sucks, it's like you're paying into it, so at some point you gotta take advantage of it, especially if you're getting laid off. Oh, what's this all about? Danger, danger. Can you use this to launch her, so can I, like, possess it? Oh, it sends me back here. That's a bummer. I think I needed to go the other direction. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, well, let's go. Let's see what's in this little pipe. Yeah, there you go, prop. Well, maybe they'll have some deal for me to... I think I have to have my master's if I wanted to actually teach there. So we'll have to see what the audience is going to be for this class, if it's going to be retirees who've never played a game before. That would still be a fun class to teach, I think. I'd probably get the class fees calibrated to get a certain number of copies of games for people. And try to start with some games that are very low barrier to entry, like, as an example. Her Story is super low barrier to entry, right? As long as you can type, you can play it. But it's still an interesting enough game in its own right. I need to figure out how to sync when I'm swimming here. It's not super clear to me. I love that the beeping is not always running when you're low on health. I feel like, I could take a hint from that with Zelda. Okay, Severance is nice. Yeah, that's true, Sixgun. I'll have to look into it. I guess they just recently changed their standards to require a master's to teach at UNM. Alright, let's try going there. I got a couple moons out of it, so... Do we say for sure that there's about 600 moons in this game, is that right? The nut round the corner. Interesting. Definitely want to get more of the nuts in this level because the scientist costume seems pretty cool. Yeah, the way it works is that if I want to teach a course, like an actual course for credit and get paid by the university, then I need to have a master's. But I can do a community education course, which awards no credit. It might give high school credit if a high school student chooses to take it, but that's up to me, like, negotiating with the high school. But if I want the university to pay me as, you know, a salary, I have to have a master's. Nice, soreness. Yeah, I got a pretty okay severance when I got laid off from Chase. That's actually how I was able to start streaming. I originally started streaming at 6 hours a day with nobody watching. Because I could. I wonder if I can possess these tanks. I can. Oh, that's cool. Oh, this game is great. That's pretty awesome. Hold a lever to receive a seed. Alright. Seed funneling. Never had a bonus. You get bonuses in really low-level jobs. I wonder if I can get up there. I've seen a couple. I'm trying to avoid spoilers for this game as much as possible, but occasionally people will post crazy GIFs of people doing speedrunny type tricks in this game, and everybody's doing this crazy hat throw jump. I haven't really figured out how you're supposed to do it. They can get like lateral movement by throwing the hat and then jumping on it. It's probably something like that that I have to do here. Yeah, that sucks, Ikupo. So many jobs are trying to make them into contract jobs now. Yeah, I'll figure it out some other time. No, that sounds awesome, Stornas. That's the perfect time to do it, right? I used to have a incentive bonus at the shipping job I did. It was based on missed sorts. I never got a bonus at the Chase call center. The year I got laid off, they started giving us bonuses at the testing job I did at Chase. Okay, they have hats, because they've got the little grass on their head. Right? Alright. That means there is a hiding moon under here. Employee of another company that's contracted with Sony. Yeah, we're finding out that the Los Alamos National Lab where Andrea works, that they do that for most jobs as well. Like, Kat, who's moving to Los Alamos at the end of this month, is trying to get a job with being a nuclear hazardous waste technician. And you don't actually apply through the lab, you apply through this other company called Compa, and their only purpose is to hire people for the lab. And I think the reason they exist is so that they don't have to give government wages and government benefits to people. They kind of want to try before they buy. Because you get way less pay and way worse benefits. There we go. This is cool. Until you actually get hired by the lab and not by Compa, but it's exactly the same job. It's just who hired you. I'm shocked this doesn't... Oh, is this because of that setting that I did? This doesn't have the gyro controls that I loved so well from Breath of the Wild. I appreciate the games. Maybe I actually want motion controls. Oh yeah, I totally want motion controls. Man, Darkest Timeline, I'm turning on motion controls because I like them. And Marstead. Yeah. It's a white-collar job thing. It's the way I kind of perceive bonuses is it's a way to increase your overall compensation package with the ability to back out on it if they need to. If they have a bad year, they can just say, oh, no bonuses this year. I bet I have to blow up certain rocks, but not other rocks to get that, right? I don't think I have a shenanigan way to get up there. Try dropping down from up top. Let's give that a shot. Can I, shimmy? Okay, that's much easier. Less creative level design. I mean, the entire shtick with Mario Galaxy and Mario 3D Land was all about level design and a very specific approach to level design, kind of 4-stage approach. Really great YouTube videos explaining it. Recommend checking them out. Whoa, that's cool. We Sonic now. But, how do I put it? Mario Galaxy had to make some sacrifices in its gameplay to have that kind of level design focus that made it so good and so unique. There are things that, you know, you can't really do in the Mario Galaxy design style because it's more linear, right? It's like having a tabletop RPG where the GM is focused more on giving players the ability to completely free roam versus a tabletop RPG where the GM is trying to tell a more cohesive story and needs to make it a little bit more linear. There's benefits and drawbacks to both approaches. I don't think there's a right way to do it. Feels like a Sonic game. Yeah, I love that the moons have names. It's really clear. You don't have to say the moon in the cage. Can you give me an example of a level that has the kind of platforming you like, and a level in this game that has a platforming you don't like? Like, there's some platforming segments in, let's take an example. Mario 64 that are hard but not interesting, I think. Like, what's the stage? It has the Loch Ness Monster in it. It's got all these cages and all these places where you can fall down. You gotta move through it really fast. That's got complicated platforming, but I don't think it's fun. So does the Ghost Mansion. The level in Sonic Colors with a similar aesthetic. Okay, so I think there was still a moon in there that I skipped. I can try grabbing it real quick. I think the way a Mario game should approach difficulty is that it should be... the main course of the game should be pretty easy, and maybe not have that much of a compelling, difficult, challenging platforming. And that should be reserved more for... Okay, it was just those little coins that I missed earlier. It's fine. I can go get some, though. I want to get the costume in this level. The base game should be pretty easy. And then the optional challenges, getting all the moons, or beating the game quickly, or speedrunning it and finding the optimal path through a stage should be the way that you make it hard. And I feel like Nintendo's generally been pretty good about that approach. Remember to do that next time. I don't think there was another one that had a moon up there. I guess enemies being destroyed might drop a moon occasionally. Hey, Goomba, how you been? Good seeing you. Alright, well, it was worth it for 3 purple nuts. Hey, thanks, Chaos. Appreciate it. Starting today, huh? Still on the wrong side of the map.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Chaos. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kevin. You rock as well. Good looking out. Hey, is this the thing that increases my HP by 3? It does.
Cool. You're super awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
You nailed it, Kevin. Yeah, no, I guess my point is that, like, a lot of stuff in game design is about trade-off. Like, you can make a game more, have it have more mass market appeal, more accessible to more gamers, but you're going to sacrifice something with the extreme gamers, so... Oh, right on. How do I get to this thing? I want to do that. It's got to be down here, right? Is there a sneaky way for me to get down there? I could probably backflip off, but I feel like that's not going to end well for me. Yeah, I like it a lot so far. Chaos, for sure. I think it's through here. How would I normally get over here, though? I don't think that was the way you're supposed to get here. Okay, well, I'm not going to exit out that way. It is a goddamn tank. I wonder if there's an 8-bit version of every stage. I think we've been with the water stage, didn't have any of these 8-bit areas. It's pretty great, though. Alright, so I'm gonna have to jump from the elevator on the right. Should you call these elevators? Back way up the mountain. Or back way up the mountain. It's super good. I really enjoy it so far. I'm doing alright, Kevin. I'm really glad that Andrea's doing better. Hope that sticks around and she's not just cycling manic. And we're hoping to get her back to work in January. This is generally where I'm supposed to be. Can't climb this, right? I'm really loving seeing all the GIFs that get posted to Reddit of the crazy crap the speedrunner tier people are pulling off in this game right now. Oh, I gotta probably go hit this thing, huh? Interesting. I can possess that, right? Maybe I'm supposed to bring... Oh, I probably need to make it down this Snake Eater meadow with one of these tanks. Alright. Right, because this whole area is not challenging at all if you're just Mario, but if you're Tank Mario, then it's actually kind of a pain. Got it. Yeah, there we go. That's the ticket. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I really like the capture ability. It lets them... So I guess there's two kind of philosophies on level and game design, and one of them is have a very simple suite of abilities that you learn early on, and then try to just make your level design expand on the design space from just those abilities. And the other one is giving you tons and tons of abilities and having a lot of them be very temporary, which is kind of this game's approach. And it can be fun because it adds a lot of variety, and you can have a lot of design space within just, hey, let's explore everything you can possibly do with the tank, for example, or with the stack of Goombas. But it also risks alienating the player, because you have to learn new things all the time, and so far I don't think I've ever possessed something and been totally confused on how to use it. It generally is conveyed pretty well just based on the way the enemy behaves before you possess it. Yeah. I think it's something that they deserve credit for, but it's kind of hard to notice when it's done right. You can really notice when something like that's done poorly, right? Oh, there's spikes up here. That's interesting. I jump on the little eyeballs? Maybe I need it to suck me in. Let's see. Hahaha, okay, that's cool. Nintendo is generally really good about letting you understand new mechanics just through conveyance. They stumbled a little bit, I think, in the Wii era. Like, I remember being stuck on launch day of Zelda Twilight Princess, not knowing how to fish, and it really pissing me off. 'Cause I wanted to play the game, but I was stuck fishing for hours and hours and hours, you know? But they've kind of figured out how to do motion controls and have them be tight and make sense. Okay, I understand how this works now. Gotcha. Because it's taken all the flowers, prop. Yeah, I like that multi-hit. They've nailed it. Visceral feeling too, I think. With hitting the coin blocks really fast in succession. That was an idea from Mario 3D World. Huh? Yeah, you're kind to say so, Gaku. Jump. So we gotta do this again. Ah, I see. That's a cool way to develop on that premise. I was like, the first version was pretty simple, but now they move. Uh-oh. Yeah, I was worried about that. Now they move, and now the shape is more complicated. So I wonder if there's going to be a third iteration on this boss fight. I feel like you can think about each hat possession mechanic as having like 3 or 4 different ways you can explore its design space, and one of them is going to end with a boss fight. Like this is the... whatever the fuck I'm possessing right now, the Tall Onion. This is the Tall Onion boss fight. I don't think they could do another boss fight with the Tall Onion that really explores it much further. One that has you use it to progress through a level, use it to solve a puzzle, use it to defeat a regular enemy, use it to fight a boss. Differences in the world-to-world design. I think having the hat possession ability kind of gives you that feeling. You know, because you have enemies that only ever appear in the desert that you will never see in another zone. Although I'm curious to see if the more standard enemies like bullet bills, if, you know, if you run into bullet bills in a later stage, if we're going to use them in exactly the same way as we use them in the desert level, or they're going to find some other way to use them. It depends on the Mario game. Mario 3, the worlds feel pretty different. You get some really crazy outliers like worlds 3, 4, and 7, and 8 in Mario 3. I guess 1 and 2 are pretty samey. Alrighty. So let's go to a new stage. I do like the million moons per level, to be honest. And you go back to like Mario 64 and there's what, 6 stars in a stage? I don't know, I think it gives you that feeling of, it's that cathartic milestone effect, but you're getting them much more quickly. And I think it kind of lets them be trickier with a lot of their moons. Alright, Metro Kingdom. So suppose that you... these aren't the real numbers, but suppose that you have 100 moons in the game and you only need 20 of them to beat it. That means you can make about 70 of those moons really tricky to get or really well hidden. But if you required 20 moons to beat the game and there were only 20 moons in the game, then you'd have to be a lot more obvious about their placement or easier to obtain. So it's kind of that same general idea that because they offer the assist mode, it lets them design the game more aggressively and make it harder, because people that don't want a hard game can turn on assist mode. But Nintendo's been up to that for a while. It can get grueling when you have a ton of them in an area. Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah, the Karibo shoe level. Yeah, the purple coins are great. I feel like the purple coins are kind of this game's Koroks. Finding all of them would be exhaustive and fun in some cases. I like that they give you some real good incentives to find all of them too by having the shop. It's not just, oh, we're going to give you another moon, right? And they give you stepped rewards, so it matters on your way to 100. You don't have to get all of them before it matters. Yeah, I like having the hint buying system. That's cool. Yeah, that's good design, Chaos. Nintendo is one of the only companies out there, I feel like, that's really trying to develop that way.
Conveyance means show, don't tell.
Right, prop. Alright, have our first Bowser fight here. I feel like there's a lot of developers who have said, you know what, our audience is hardcore gamers, for sure. And there's a lot of developers that have said our audience is casual gamers, for sure. But I think Nintendo, since a lot of the blowback from the Wii, has been trying to cater to both, and they've been doing a pretty good job with it on the whole. I guess Blizzard does that as well, but their games are very different. They haven't really done a traditional single-player game in a while. Don't have time for you. He's planning his wedding, like that's the plot. It's a pretty great bouquet. Yeah, I agree about that with Final Fantasy XIV. 14's balanced and designed. All the abilities are set up for the most hardcore raiders, and then the rest of the game is balanced very casually, since those abilities no longer matter. Ooh! Oh, that's pretty rad, I gotta admit. I like his little hair. Alright, that's great. This is a cool fight. Oh jeez! Oh god! Alright, it doesn't make me lose my hat. That's what matters. Laugh it up, dude! The music in this game is pretty great so far, too. Are you trying to use BTTV to opt out of hide comments? Jump? Okay, so I can break those. Good to know. Oh, interesting. That wasn't enough to damage him there. I wonder if it was because it was only part... I was already punch spamming from breaking his little throwy thingy. Yeah, it might have something to do with him showing his tail to you. He's learned my tricks so far in the fight. Something's up. Don't think I need to get rid of my hat to fight him. Just punching him isn't cutting it. Maybe I need to jump over his tail here. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to jump over his tail and then punch him some more. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. Clever, clever. So it gives you the big telegraph. Yeah, I've really enjoyed all the boss fights in this game. They're good at showing you what you're supposed to do right away. Mario boss fights are generally pretty simple, since, you know, hit them 3 times and you win. But they can be... I think they should be more fun than challenging. The fun part is figuring out what you're supposed to do, and then having like 3 stages of intensity. Alright, take out. Yeah, I really like Bowser's hair. I'm trying to think if I played a platformer game that has just outstanding bosses. Just really incredible. Even like a 2D, primarily platformer. You could say that like Mega Man's a platformer, but not in the same sense as something like Mario or Sonic. Odyssey's busted up. Okay. Leaves are currency here. To find a key somewhere else. I appreciate the minimalist story, at least when it comes to Mario. If we're just gonna go with the Peach has been kidnapped plot, then just let me play the game, you know? I feel like a game like Zelda benefits from having a little bit more story focus, although I really did appreciate the kind of minimalist approach from Breath of the Wild. Kind of takes you back to Zelda 1. I felt like, as much as I enjoy Galaxy and it's a really great game... Oh, that's messed up! Taking my hat! It's Mario 64. Super rude. Even though Mario Galaxy had a cool story, I think it mostly got in the way of you playing the game when it happened. Yeah, I'd like to have a game where you play as Zelda as well. That'd be nice. Oh, clever. Clever, clever. Look at the kind of ground pound symbol there. Can't even push the hat button. Okay, those guys eventually, presumably, will let me break those things. I'm coming. Yeah, I mean, I've played platformers that have decent bosses, but I'm trying to think if I've played one that just has an amazing boss. Or a set of really, really good bosses. And I don't really have anything coming to mind. Yeah, the damsel trope's frustrating. I was hopeful, I was talking to Andrea about it. Like, I'm gonna play Mario Galaxy today, so do you think that Peach is gonna get kidnapped again? They show some level of self-awareness about it now. That's satisfying. So that certainly helps a little bit. You dick. You smack him from underneath. You can try. Oh, I see. I think I get it. So we need to do this right as he's about to land. There we go. Nice. I like that he doesn't tell you until you've been stuck on it for a few seconds, right? He's not doing the fee thing. Stretch. That's pretty cool. It's got the little accordion sound too. How delightful. and you can go to the other end of it. Nice. Explains the layout over here. Oh, yeah, right. Avoided early ground pounds with creative jumping. You could hear that. I see a shadow down here. Ah, he won't actually... That's interesting. Super cute. Like I mentioned earlier, you know exactly how to use it before you possess it because you see some enemies using it earlier in the stage. Whoops. This is what it feels like to be American. Right. There's totally a thing below this. Whoops. Oh, I should have fallen the rest of the way. That's too bad. Probably would have sent me back up. It's okay. I can explore what's over here. Ooh, alright, they hurt you. Shit. Ooh, lucky. I did not deserve that at all. Alright, so... little moon coin puzzle. Multiply that by 1,000 times. There you go. Okay. What are these enemies called? They were in Mario World first, right? Forget their name. So I still need 2 more moon coins. There might be one around that tree. Should probably go check before I go in here. Well, I can always come back out, I guess. Hey, it's Captain Toad! My man! Touch Fuzzy, get dizzy. That's right. Yoshi's Island. Thanks, dude. So are we thinking that Captain Toad is like... The proto-Toad and the original Toad? The one true Toad? To the extent that Mario canon matters, which is not at all. Alright, take one of these guys out. Alright, Yukubo. Finding secrets. Yeah, Toad to rule them all. Something I kind of dig in video games like this, where you know they'll introduce a new character kind of just for fun, like Captain Toad, and then he shows up again in later games. He's a thing now with a capital T. Fuzzy's his Paper Mario enemies. All right, so where's the one that I'm missing? Oh, it's probably in that little alcove over there. I love that accordion sound when you're too stretched. It's pretty great. Alright. Yeah, I haven't played it before. And I've been avoiding playing it off stream, so I don't see anything. I haven't watched any videos. Occasionally a GIF will show up on Reddit of somebody doing some crazy speedrunning jumping trick, but nothing that's been a spoiler for the game. Nintendo with their brilliant sound design. I know, right? They've always been badasses when it comes to that. Once Kat, Donovan, and Jaden are out here, I might try to talk to him about giving a rotary talk about video game music. Show how he composes. There we go. Nice. This is still one of my favorite parts of this whole game. I love the 2D stuff. It's really great. It's integrated so well. Alright, so there's another one that's outside. I like how the exterior is the same challenge, almost, but with, but in 3D. Yay, lack of lives. Just make me lose coins. A much more elegant system than lives, anyway. I'm surprised it took them this long to get rid of lives in Mario games. They haven't been relevant. Well, they've never been relevant. The only reason we really have lives in these games is a holdover from arcade games, and then after that, just... that's the way it's always been done. But I'm trying to think, like, when did they really matter? I guess Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3, kind of, but even Mario 3, it was pretty easy to farm an arbitrarily high number of them. And the continue requirements for 3 were pretty mild. Yeah, Mario 1's probably the one where they're the most relevant out of any of the games. They were annoying in 2, like they were relevant, but it was just generally frustrating when you needed to, when you ran out of lives, you'd lose a lot of progress. Said it before, but I think that failure is its own consequence in most cases, and you don't need to further punish the player. There's such a thing as over-punishing. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. So one of the GIFs I've seen has people jumping out and then throwing their hat forward and then diving at their hat. Does anyone know how to do that? To like make this jump here, I think that's necessary, but I don't know how to do it. Looks like it makes me ground pound. Unless if it's like a fast throw. Sure, how do you do it? Dive is Y, holding X keeps the hat out. Okay, hold on, let me give it a shot here. Pressing Y has to be fast. So you throw the hat out. Okay, let's try it. Can I do it jumping from a pillar that I'm climbing like this, or is it only possible from the ground? Ooh, there we go. Alright. I don't know if I can reproduce that. Also, there's just coins up here. But I'm happy they put coins here, right? Because it's Nintendo saying, yeah, we expect you might be able to get up here. That's cool. Here's a really minor reward for it. First try. Yeah, this might not be the best area to practice. Right. Give it a shot somewhere else. I love that Nintendo puts in those non-mandatory texts, you know? Although I saw, one of the GIFs I saw on Reddit was this, it was one of the underground, like, cave areas in the desert level. And it was an area on a roof that was impossible to get to unless if you did a bunch of crazy bullshit with the diving at the hat and then bouncing off of it. But at the top, there was just a big stack of coins. So yeah, you know, it's not like a purple coin or a moon or something, but it's something to tell you, hey, we know that you found this. Good job. We're acknowledging that you did something cool. Alright, that's some pretty good conveyance right there. How do I get inside of this room? Bet you that it's through a hole on the other side of that ground poundy thingy. Let's try to get over there. Oh, having the second player helps with that. That's interesting. It caught me! Gnarly! That's a cool evolution of that mechanic. No, that sounds awesome. I might be down to check that out, Sornus. Especially if it's as cool as it looks. I know your very first reaction to Monster Hunter World was pretty tepid. Have you moved away from tepid towards kind of sort of excited? Oh, you know the one I'm talking about on Gaku? Yeah. Alright, there's a moon in there, I think, is what that means. Something important, at least. Alright. Glowy moon conveyance. Alright. I'd like to go to the shop, but it's all the way down there, and I haven't gotten any checkpoints in this stage. Wow. Fix that. Okay, let's not drop off the edge this time. Yeah, I feel like Monster Hunter World is doing what I want Monster Hunter to do, which is to evolve a little bit. I probably create some angst among hardcore series fans, but... 90% excited, 10% concerned. 95% Okay. What are your head scratchers for it, Sornus? Let's not fall off this time, right? There's a moon over there. Let's get this thing first, though. Alright. There's another moon over there. Everything's fine, everything's good. That's nice. I'm glad to hear that. Has health bars, right? Wall jump. Yes. Roger, roger. Again, isn't it nice that the tips... I mean, this is something that Mario World figured out long ago, which was optional tutorials. You know, the little tutorial boxes you can choose to jump at or choose to ignore. I feel like Nintendo was trending towards much more hand-holdy approach. Starting with the Wii, where they would have just popped up and said... The hat would be like, here's how to wall jump. Alright, here's the store. There's the glidey guy. What's your deal? Howdy, Mario. Was this run by toads? No health bar with damage numbers. Okay, I'll take damage numbers. That sounds great. Hiya. Ooh, aviator. That's cool. First time I saw costumes, I'm like, I don't want to do that. And then as soon as I saw that he changes to the costumes in the 8-bit sprites, I'm like, okay, I gotta try every costume now. Okay. Haven't picked up any stickers yet. I'll probably try to get all the purple coins off stream. Just kind of find the stuff I find until we beat the game in the meantime. Mechanic cap. Oh, that's cool. It seems like every world has one 100 coin moon. Yeah, I can't believe the game has never had damage numbers. I get it. It's part of the aesthetic that they're going for, but it really increases the barrier to entry to understanding how the end game works, though, I think. Hold the button down. Use that later to get a bunch of those coins. For now, I want to go to New Dunk City. Yeah. Monster Hunter as it exists is definitely a game that requires a lot of interaction with third-party sources, whether it's websites, strategy guides. And that's not just a Monster Hunter thing, like that's a problem with Pokemon too, that I guess Pokemon's been getting better with in recent games, but there's just a lot of depth to it that doesn't make any sense to a casual player. And doesn't matter to the majority of casual players. They won't have nearly as much content. Dunk City. Dunkin' Donuts. I'm actually not sure why it's Dunk. Donk? Oh, Donk, my bad. Donk probably because it's a funny sounding onomatopoeia. That makes sense. Yeah, they can have a ton of content in the traditional Monster Hunter games because they reuse tons of monsters. Whoa! It's so weird that there's just like normal people here, but okay. Yeah, endless healing. It depends though. I mean, so Hollow Knight has endless healing, but it works really well in that game because you have to earn it. As long as there's some trade-off for healing, if you have to spend time. I wonder if you pointed out some odds. Stone is peculiar, but doesn't seem to do anything. God, they're so tall. Mayor Pauline. Holy shit, they're bringing Pauline back? What?
Oh,
That's interesting. She's the person that Mario rescues in the original Donkey Kong for the arcade before Super Mario Brothers.
oh,
And I think she may... I haven't played any of them, but aren't there like the Mario Minis games?
oh.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong that have Pauline in them as well? That's interesting. Wonder where they're going with that. Yeah, I think limiting your max count of healing is less interesting to me than making healing itself interesting. Putting it on a cooldown, maybe, or having a time investment component like Estus Flasks in Dark Souls. This place is gnarly, man. Oh, gross. They started as little maggots? Man, they got New York City down. Her new design is from the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. Yeah. I think that having healing be unlimited, even in like Dark Souls, but be based on a cooldown, or I think my favorite mechanic I've seen is Hollow Knight, where you have to attack to get your healing back. That's not appropriate in every kind of game, though. Bosses typically don't have enough health for that to work in something like Dark Souls, I feel like. But when you are just using an inventory of healing items, it tends to be less interesting. It's like you either have way too many of them and it doesn't matter, or you're just out and screwed, and that's also less interesting. And I think more and more games are moving to that approach, getting rid of having a traditional inventory and making things cooldown based. You can better control for the player's capability. Fast regenerating mana system. Hat store. I really love the design of this place. This is awesome. They all speak in like almost English. It's like that gnarly video where it's like what English sounds like to a non-English speaker. They just kind of use a bunch of English phonemes, but they don't actually use any English words. If you're an English native speaker, it's really weird to watch. It's unsettling. Yes. It's appropriate food for a picnic. Man, you bring whatever you want to a picnic. Microwave some pizza rolls and put them in a plastic bag. Picnics are a scam. It's like, breakfast is a scam. Building, that's cool. Oh, that's classic. That's super old school, the golf outfit. Builder 1 is Mario Maker, it's nice. Alright, so I gotta save up 15 for the builder outfit and 45 for the golf outfit. The business suit, that sounds cool, Plaster. Slowly walk while using them, they're channeled. Go back to restock. I see. Yeah. Ask Andrea. Get me started on my breakfast is a scam rant. Can I possess that scooter? No, but it gives coins. That's cool too. Oh, I can just drive this. I've been playing this game too much, right? Can I possess that scooter? Oh, I can just ride it. The controls are pretty fun, actually. You think the camera would be really janky with this, but it's actually pretty reasonable. Oh god. The hell of a scooter. That's funny, Plaster. I often have the opposite problem in games like this, where I'm playing the whole game at great length and completely forget that I can use its core mechanic. Portal 2, I did that all the time. Oh, right! I can make portals. Oh, right, I can possess things. So I was kind of proud of myself at first for not forgetting that. Nope, I was still wrong. Andrew, what's appropriate for a picnic? Inside an iron girder. I really like the controls on this. This could have been really janky, but it works pretty well. And the gyro controls are very loose. Like, he doesn't move the reticle all around the screen. It's really just for fine-tuning, which I think is what the gyro is best at. I really love that in Breath of the Wild, and it made it hard to go back to other games. I'd keep wanting to move the controller to make slight adjustments, and it didn't work. Another one on this one? Oh, I like the little question mark on the walk sign there. That's clever. Not a real storefront. I found a cool term from that. Anything over here? Coins in the trash bags. Cool term from that Chrono Trigger video that Plaster Master linked in Discord called ludonarrative dissonance. And ludo from Latin meaning game. Ludonarrative is the combination of gameplay and storytelling. And ludonarrative dissonance is when you get some dissonance from what you have to do in the game versus what the story is trying to tell. So a good example would be Uncharted, where the story is trying to get across this idea that Nathan Drake is this charming rogue character, but when you're playing the game, you're murdering thousands of people, and the story doesn't really comment on that, outside of a couple tongue-in-cheek, hand waves, lampshade hangs. If we did, I didn't remember it. I had never heard it until I read that article. That was cool. There's like basically no reason to possess the Goombas. They're good traditional enemies, so. Ouch. Guess I can maybe get them to stack with each other, but I don't think there's any reason for me to do that here. total fraud, right? Wasn't it coined fairly recently? Watch fairly recently as like 20 years ago or something ridiculous. Always said we're doomed. They kind of talk like Animal Crossing characters, sort of. The whole sitch looks pretty bleak. I've talked about dissonance, but not, and I probably actually talked about that phenomenon before, but I just didn't know there was a term for it. Somebody come up with something quicker. 2007. All right, that's like 5 years ago. Possess me, it's rude. I'm so sorry, Goomba. It's a dick move. When you possess Goombas, you have better traction. I think that's all they do. It's actually kind of cool. Like, what can Goombas do? Well, they can walk on ice. Yeah, we've certainly talked about the phenomenon, but I guess I didn't realize there was a term for it. So you get on a campaign to coin narrative uncertainty as an idea. I've heard people talk about it, but I don't think there's a term for it. Yeah, me too. 1997 was 10 years ago. Incorrect. False. Alright. Right, Chaos. I wonder what the purpose of the little baby coin Goombas are. Like, why did Nintendo decide to include them? Coins don't serve as healing, so they're not there to refresh your resources or anything. Alright. Shake to climb faster. Oh, nice. I think the shaking is pretty tasteful in this game. As someone who generally doesn't like waggle. It could just be that because the Joy-Cons are way more responsive than the Wiimote ever was. Yeah, it blows my mind. Some game that I realized was like 18 years old recently. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. How old is Kingdom Hearts? Is Kingdom Hearts old enough to drink yet? Old enough to drive? It's at least 10 years old. Yeah, but I guess what's interesting about the baby Goombas is why did they go for that instead of the traditional big Goombas? They want to have a general enemy to jump on that you can't possess, because maybe there's some shenanigans with possession. You can kind of get a slightly higher jump if you jump and then pop out of them. I guess they take up less space, so you can have enemies, meaningful enemies, in a small space like on this platform I'm on right now, where they decided they wanted the full Goombas to be much larger. 2002. 15 though. Jeez. This would be a good place. I hope that it would be cool if Donkey Kong makes an appearance in this. He's never been in a main series Mario game. If they're gonna do it, I feel like this is the place to do it in. Wow. It's so it's so humongous. I want to get those purple coins. Hold on. I got in there at a really dumb angle. Yes, yes. Okay. What's your deal, Centipede dude? He's fine. Mario's never had falling damage. And then the game is over. Lucky there are these tanks down here. It's convenient. Alright, it's round one. That's cool. I like their use of the orchestra hits. What was the first game they did that in? Was it, Wind Waker? It's really satisfying. The pitch increasing orchestra hits. I wonder if this is just an avoiding phase or there's some shenanigan I have to do. Okay. Avoiding phase, it looks like. Just for a funeral, right? This is a cool escalation of conflict here. The way these mechanics are progressing. I actually haven't seen that spread too much outside of Nintendo. I feel like that would be something that would just kind of be standard now. I'm trying to think of a non-Nintendo game that has the orchestra hits. That's cool. Galaxy was the first Mario to do it, yeah. Da-na-na-na. Banana moons. Ring, 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 ring. Banana moons. One sec. I think that was appropriate to be a two-phase boss. 3 hits would have been excessive there. And the weather cleared up. So I'm guessing now this level is non-linear, and that the rain version of it was more linear. I don't know what this is just yet. There's definitely a moon in there, you can hear it. Advantages of headphones. Sup? Mayor Pauline is the bee's knees. I know, right, Spiky? Dude, I really wish... if they made Final Fantasy 16 like a 16-bit Super Nintendo game, that would just be the best. I feel like they could sell a ton. They could probably produce it way faster. Mom always said, go play outside. Okay. I gotta find a person who's not wearing a hat so I can possess them. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16-bit. There you go. Exactly. September 9th to 12th. Okay. Yeah. If nothing else, I'll come check out your stream. Can I possess taxis? Oh, the trailer lied to me, but there's only specific taxis that I can possess. That's cool, though. You can bounce off them for height. Super Mario Grand Theft Auto. Interesting. Poor guy. No, if it's something is wearing a hat, then I can't possess it, is the rule. Or I have to knock off its hat first before I can. Yo.
Hi.
Join us for our festival.
Oh.
4 backup musicians. Okay. There's one. Even over the rhythm, I could hear you talking. The little taxi thing counts as a hat. Right on.
Oh. Ah.
3 more. Working on it. So what are we supposed to understand of the Mario mythos right now? That the Mushroom Kingdom is just one, like, location on the Earth? I always assumed that the Mario movie was accurate. Oh, there we go. That'd be something we can... Oh, that's just like a teleportation up. Hey, lovely. How you doing?
Pretty good. Alright, come say hi.
This is my wife, Andrea.
Sorry,
Does it have
didn't mean
a
to
mythos?
interrupt you during
No, you're good.
a philosophical.
Oh, it was super
discussion.
philosophical. Yeah, philosophical.
Hey, Andrew's here.
Alright, that lets me transition back to the rainy area. Andrew asked me what's appropriate food to bring to a picnic, and I said picnics are a scam, like breakfast, you bring whatever you want. And he was like...
No! No, and
he was
I
like, I forgot, you're the breakfast scam guy, I should never have asked you.
I absolutely disagree about that. Because a picnic, the food has to be something that you can transport out to where you're having the picnic.
All food is transportable if you are creative enough.
I don't know, like if you did hamburgers, they'd be cold by the time they got there.
Okay, alright.
Know what I mean?
What if you put them in like a foil heating thing, like a pizza?
How many people have a foil heating thing? I mean, then you're just like, I don't know, catering outside.
Alright.
Anyway, so picnic food, like sandwich meat and bread would be good. Usually it's like deviled eggs would be good.
Croofy hat man.
Like some cut up melon would be good.
Is this helping? The long jump hacks.
Some like potato salad would probably be good, although make sure it's not gonna get, it's got mayonnaise in it, so I don't know how you deal with that. Maybe potato salad's not good.
Oh, because it doesn't keep? Well, I mean, you're not like...
I mean, I guess if
You
you're
don't-
like an hour
You don't
away,
have to
it should be
travel
fine.
like 100 hours to
Right. Should be fine.
get to your picnic. Alright. There's a guy down there. I gotta put together a band. There's all these normally
You grill them
proportioned
there.
people. And
Now
it's
your picnic
weird.
place has to have a grill. Which it could. Like if you went camping.
I've heard about you.
Salad just isn't good. I happen to very much like potato salad, but I think that's because I like
It's okay to be
mayonnaise.
wrong. Still don't have the
Let's
cat
just
cam
be
hooked up. I'll
honest.
show you guys Ben being... He's angry and he wants to be fed. Can I help you, Ben? He does this thing when he's hungry, and he's sitting nearby to stare at us until we feed them, where he, like, closes his eyes, and it clearly looks like he wants to open his eyes and be up and feeding him, and he just
Dude,
keeps
that
doing
band
it.
could be the Super Soul Brothers.
Yeah, no, I hear that. They're probably gonna play music from this. They were super duper good. Put on an
they're
awesome
not.
show.
Yeah, I guess I don't like mustardy potato salads. I like mayonnaise-y potato salads.
Ben only has the legends of eating. He's never actually had food himself. How do we get to the heliport? Those power moons are a great source of urban energy. Oh man, it's like Shinra. I don't think they're gonna...
Alright, but how
Get
about
into
like
that.
steak? Are steaks appropriate picnic food?
Why wouldn't they be?
Well, I guess I'm asking this because if Chaos Factor is going to claim that burgers are good picnic food because you can grill there, then
Yeah, you
this
can make a
is-
steak
should
at a
be the same
picnic.
with steaks.
That sounds great. Go.
I don't know. I feel for me like
It's not like we're getting into a semantics argument, Andrea.
I know
What's
I
your
hate
favorite?
semantics arguments. But for me, it feels like picnic food has to be like a little. It can't be. It has to be pretty low class. Oh, and for some reason, pizza is not a picnic food.
Pizza's
I'm
not a picnic
anti-pizza.
food?
Can you bring a microwave with you to heat it up? I guess you could heat it up on the grill.
Get a pizza, like fresh, and bring the pizza with you to picnic.
And like eat pizza.
What is
on
your
the
model of
grass.
picnicking?
I don't know.
Are you
I think-
traveling across the country to go picnic? Like, you have a lot of concern about
So-
food spoiling en route, and
I feel like what I'm
just
doing here
puzzled.
is I'm justifying some deep ideas that are in my head based on like movies and TV that I've seen.
all right, that's fair.
So I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but
Uh-huh.
as I'm coming up with ideas, I'm realizing that there is this like 1950s picnic
Ideal that you're trying to.
that I'm trying to justify, and I'm failing. So
You can grill pizza. You can put pizza in a frying pan, which is the ideal way to reheat pizza. I have to say. If you put it in a frying pan and cover it, the bottom gets all nice and crispy, and then the steam rises up and heats the toppings, without it being soggy like in the microwave. I actually really like the long jump to get over here. That was part of what I was excited about when I first saw the launch trailer for this game.
and I'm just I'm proving his point, aren't I? That's all right. It's a good
It's okay,
point.
we can still disagree. Cold pizza can be pretty good. Depends on the pizza. It's one of the many features of pizza.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
And I'm sure the answer is going to be yes, that would be great, Andrea. Why don't you just put it in a thermos? Like, what about soup? Is soup appropriate for a picnic?
I mean,
Why not?
why
right?
wouldn't you
Then
put it
just
in a
put
thermos?
it in a thermos. Yes.
I know this is boring to you now. I know what you're going to say. Oh, there's a way to get over there.
But, like, would you agree that soup is not a
Soup is
traditional
I would not
picnic
expect to bring soup.
food?
It's true. Yeah, I could hear that, Spiky. It'd be a much larger
Just
portion
put
of the
it in a
game.
thermos. I'm trying to think of... What about, like, foie gras?
Okay.
You can't have it in California anymore, right? Didn't they pass some law?
Yeah, I think it makes it a lot harder to make it.
I'm trying to think of some other like really ultra fancy food.
Escargot. Goose liver. Fish eggs. Yeah, that's what rich people eat. The garbage parts of the food. You
That's
should
true.
consider running
Steak
for
would
public
require
office.
knives, and it would be hard to cut on your lap.
Chili's a good food, I think. Thermos type. What's up?
So it is picnic food.
Look for the manhole covers. Alright. Like the one that was previously blocked. Until I did the requisite quests. Alright, that's unnecessary. We really don't need to possess the manhole cover.
We can just
Okay,
push
we
it
can just push
ourselves.
it. But okay. I mean, they're leveraging an existing game mechanic, an existing button press. Bare hand sticks. What are you looking at, Mario? Look at that. It's like, Wind Waker was the first game to do that, where Link would look at things and that would give you a clue. I mean, it's nothing particularly special, it's some coins.
Alright,
but
what about like meatloaf?
meatloaf's kind of gross.
Yeah.
I guess I've never had a really good meatloaf, so I just kind of associate it with not being great. Poor rat. I'm sorry, rat. I thought maybe I could possess your heart. Oh, interesting. I bet someone makes a baller meatloaf. I bet there's somebody in chat who has had a really kick-ass meatloaf. I kind of associate
How about
meatloaf with being
cold
sad.
meatloaf?
So we have enemies that just eat your hat. We've got enemies that grab your hat and throw it at you. Whoops.
And now you're dead.
Womp womp. I feel like there's gotta be a way to do it. I bet there's like a really savory meatloaf out there.
There you go.
First
What's
try.
the purple stuff?
You don't want to walk in it and your hat can clear it up.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a way. I think it's a way to make them more interesting as enemies, because traditional piranha plants shoot fireballs, but they have a very limited area of effect in a 3D game, right? You can just kind of sidestep them. Here they spit at you, and the spit is basically a fireball, and then in addition to that, it leaves behind a puddle that you then have to avoid. So it's a little bit more interactive than just interpreting them directly into 3D. Because they're very interactive in the 2D games, right? The fireball covers a ton of the screen. Here we go.
Dude, I don't think I can come up with a food that couldn't, like, just work for a picnic.
Man. All
I
right.
thought it over, but
well, can you...
I think that any food could work as a picnic.
Can you think of foods that you wouldn't... Or can you think of foods that you would specifically recommend for picnics because of the 50s ideal?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's what Propagable was originally looking for. Instead of my... There's no such thing as food categories propaganda. Ah! Okay. I
Hey,
didn't
you
fall.
got lucky.
Good save. Meatloaf with ketchup is nastier. Or you could make a spicy meatloaf.
I mean, because even, like, spaghetti, you could make it work.
I think this existential crisis
But, like,
for Andrea.
I
it really is
don't
anything.
think that you should bring spaghetti to a picnic.
It's rare that
That's fucking weird.
Andrea will agree with me on a philosophical issue after initially disagreeing. I'm not going to lord it over you, but it's kind of exciting. No, you really could. You could bring spaghetti, but don't do it.
Just don't do it. It doesn't make sense.
Hey, Denise, how you doing?
We're talking about what kind of food you could bring to a picnic.
What is appropriate for a picnic? And I'm pretty sure there's no such thing as inappropriate food for a picnic.
Yeah, I feel like you could make anything work. If you could make foie gras work, like, it's spaghetti. I mean, you could probably make ramen work.
Yeah, you could totally make ramen work.
I don't know, boiling the water there, or just doing the noodles before you go out. Cold ramen is fine.
Can I kill these guys? They look a little too big. Okay, I can kill them.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I was going to say, what about ice cream? But then you can just bring a cooler. We live in a beautiful age.
It's a beautiful... This isn't creating stress for you. All foods are potentially portable.
All foods are potentially portable.
Wings would be good. Souffle.
Souffle?
Souffle would be a dangerous thing to
Maybe,
bring
like,
to a
during the
picnic.
transport it would fall. Like, isn't that the thing that
Yeah.
would be terrible?
I think that's a
for
good
souffle?
example.
But yeah, you could make wings work, and even cold wings aren't that bad.
You probably need to bring some napkins.
Yeah, but we live in the golden age where
No!
portable napkins are available.
Mm-hmm. They're depowering my power moons. Sure, let's do the festival. This is Pauline. She's the person you rescue in the
Carmen.
original Donkey Kong.
Oh. I thought you said she was Carmen Sandiego. Was she the person that was the hat and it kept running away from you?
No, that was a Goomba, a pink Goomba. That looked like Carmen Sandiego.
They have similar hats.
Oh, there's your Donkey Kong design.
And now, to get things started, her honor,
No, you didn't rescue Peach in the original Donkey Kong. She's totally Carmen Sandiego. So, even if we don't actually see Donkey Kong, the fact that there's Donkey Kong levels is kind of cool. Go on, get in there.
Yay, Mario!
Cool. Okay, those lights don't hurt me.
Aww.
Whoa. This is a pretty sweet
You're not getting all
stage.
the coins? That's really bothering me.
I'm sorry, I could try to get all the coins. They regenerate. Ouch. I hadn't heard this song before. What? That was pretty cool. It was very Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, someone said Jumpman Jump. I missed that soreness. That's awesome. Mario was originally called Jumpman. Jumpman and Pauline.
Oh, killing me.
Missing that one coin.
Yes!
I'm sorry.
It's like Fez.
Ooh. This is like Fez, yeah. Or VVV. Hey, there's Donkey Kong. That's cool. DK. This is a super cool stage. I like this, you know, appeal to nostalgia. I think you can get away with nostalgia without it seeming hammy in video games a lot more than like movies and TV shows.
Uh-huh. Kicked your ass, Donkey Kong.
Nice, that was awesome. How do you handle being such a failure for not getting all the coins? Just something you gotta deal with every morning.
You even let it happen.
Hey! More Ben while I'm getting this. Hey Ben. Are you so furry? Are you so hungry? He looks pissed.
He does.
You're not even gonna look at me? Alright then. Thanks for the moon, jumps on head. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Alright, oh wow. Okay, I was saying, is your shirt green enough? But it doesn't look like it is. Looking like you were just wearing a galaxy. Okay, so we need 2 more moons to progress. Let's see if we can find them. It's the amiibo platform. See you, Prop Gable.
Enjoy your picnic.
Hope you made a good choice on what to bring. Ah!
Wow, you really bailed that.
Thanks.
No problem.
Do you want to play it all?
No.
Okay. Like the 2-player thing where you control the hat?
Nope.
Okay, very good. Oh, Cranky's Avenue. Squawks. Oh, that's cool. All of the streets are named after Donkey Kong characters. So that's why it's Donk City, Dixie Street. Like donkey. I'm slow for not picking up on that earlier. Shattering a dog, assaulting the mayor.
Oh, did everyone see our pumpkins in Discord?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I thought they turned out pretty good.
Andrea made a bokoblin and I made a Final Fantasy bomb that I totally ripped off of something that was on Reddit on the front page.
Yep, I saw my from Reddit and I was like, I'm gonna make that.
Game theory, Mario's a criminal. Didn't catch the Pauline thing. That's so unnecessary. There we go. I thought I was gonna die for a second. Took him a long time to fall. Alright, moon coins.
Surprise, a manhole was really just covering a sinkhole.
Ooh. Oh, tight pants. Okay, the blue ones cannot be moved, is the shenanigan here. But can they be moved? Okay, gotcha. Clever, clever. I do like these top-down stages. Doing fine on health. You play an entire game where you're just Mario the manhole. Exactly. There's another one that's outside of this thing, so maybe we have to jump on the roof to get to it? That would be kind of cool if that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, you can tell that those are the ones that move because of the little round thing on the bottom. I like the sound effect of running on the glass. Let me grab this guy first, since it doesn't kick you out of the stage. There was a Pokemon gym that was like this. Yeah, it's interesting when you start thinking about like unit puzzles in video games. There are just some puzzles that are so elemental that you're going to see different versions of them over and over. Like I've seen many variations on the ice block puzzle. There's one in Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2013.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the one where you have to like slide the machine along the track at the top and it goes until it hits something and stops? It's basically an ice block puzzle, but it doesn't use ice. Those ones do shoot fire. I didn't catch that because their faces turn yellow before they fired. All right. New stage. Hey Ben, can we help you? I gotta get that cat cam set up for next time. Next time I say I'm gonna stream, remind me to do that.
I'll try.
Okay. No big deal if you forget. You want to go to Snow Kingdom or Seaside Kingdom?
Well, we were just talking about ice physics.
Let's do the ice level. Splendid idea.
I didn't think we were going to go back to Project Runway.
Have fun. I'll be done in about 20 minutes.
Make it work.
Make it work. Boat needs a paint job. Wall jump. Yes, yes. Okay, that makes sense. They gotta get the cake from Snowland. Shiveria. Cake Thief's Parting Gift. Okay, so the custom coin here is a snowflake. Oh, I like the frozen effect on Mario. We gotta make the ice level slightly less frozen to be able to get to some of these areas? Alright, that makes sense. This is the ice world in Dark Souls 2. I don't know, have they done a ice level in Mario that's had this low of a visibility? That might be like, we can only really do that with modern games. Clothing's a parka and he no longer shivers, that'd be cool. I gotta find the plasma beam. Alright, I'll come back here later. Okay, we can swim, but it's cold. It's interesting that he just kind of punches upward during that. One of the levels in Mario 2 had too many enemies to see anything. It's a really cool effect. Oh man, Santa Claus? Annual gift man? Oh cool. These guys are adorable. They're like seal Gorons. Get some nice cream. Let me see your special hat. It is in fact a snowsuit. But I have no special coins yet. Sorry, dude. Yeah, seal Gorons. I like their little symbol in the back of their town. It's cute. Sweaters are too long for their arms. I feel like Mario could really rely on their pre-existing characters where they try to put in new things like this a lot. That's how we get Captain Toad. What's up? What a dick! Power moons to get back in. Okay. Totally did. Oh man, the design of this stage kind of reminds me of Crash Bandicoot 2. Bowser ruins everyone's day. They're so round. Ooh, can I be a Spiny? Oh, shit. Alright, that happened. Womp womp. Spinies do not appear to be possessable, at least not at this junction. Whoa! These guys are cool looking. Ah, clever. I was not expecting to possess those things. I thought the Santa hat meant I wouldn't be able to. Alright, there's something on the top of this. Can I get up there, though? Shit. Okay, I might have to do a triple jump to get up there. That's totally a thing, though. I might have to do the hat throw dive. Try that too. Okay. Let me try practicing this here, though. When do I press the button? That's what I'm not clear on. I keep doing the ground pound when I want to... Yeah, I'm trying to learn it here. So, okay, we press Y to throw the hat. And I can hold it in the air, right? I guess I can just hold it in the air and jump on it. Okay, it doesn't need to be as complicated as I was trying to make it. Very good. Hold it for the dive bounce. Is it based on me holding the jump button at the same time? Is that part of it? You can go from a leap to a hat throw to a dive. Okay, I'll have to practice it at some point. I definitely don't have the feel for it. Y, ZR, hold Y. Okay. That might help me actually, thanks. Ah, okay. Thank you, Generic. That's exactly what I need to know. So it's like you start to do a ground pound, but then you pressing Y makes you dash at it. That's actually not that hard to do. Yeah, so you press Y to throw, ZR to start a ground pound, and then you just press Y again in the air and you automatically like filter to it. Good looking out. Went from I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to pull that off to I can do it every time. Yeah, I've seen GIFs of that. Yeah, it's cool that they kept that, right? Because there's some advanced mechanics from older Marios that are more necessary in this one, like long jumping. Poor Spinies. No good, very bad day. Oh, did I totally miss this over here when I first came in this direction? Oh shit, don't go out there! Ah, I thought it was gonna be... That's a bummer. Oh, he ran away! Because I wasn't quick enough about it. Okay, they all make that tapping sound. I thought I found like a Zelda shield noise thing. Incorrect. This door's already open. There we go. Gotta go off the edge. Oh, that's the only way to spawn it is to kill all those Spinies. Alright. I didn't realize that. Alright. When you get clues to finding moons, do they tell you the name of the moons you're looking for? Because I guess that was kind of a mechanic in Mario 64, right? Where you'd queue into the level and it would say the name of the star you're looking for, which is usually a clue. What a jerk setting up 4 circular barriers. Whee! How many do we need for the parka? Was it 15 or 25? Interesting. $15. Okay, thank you. 5 more. Can do. That's a good secret. I think that's one of my favorite parts of Mario Odyssey so far. I really love the way that they've put the secrets in there. I think that their moon structure allows for that. Just a little secret wall over in the corner there. They mostly hide via perspective. Whereas I don't think they would do a secret like that in Mario 64 because they're pretty limited on the stars they can award. They might put some coins or red coins back there, I guess. Hi, Ben. Are you hungry? This guy. Keep wanting to Z-target him. Ooh, ice physics. Bummer. Keep wanting the long jump. The ice physics are getting in the way of me being able to do it. I don't think I actually have to ground pound. I should just land on his head. It's odd chop. Random task. Kung Lao. This is a cool way to take a similar boss fight and change it up with ice physics. It's definitely probably the hardest boss to do with ice physics compared to the other ones. All right. You got a moon. It's usually that they block you from coming back in here. It isn't like there's multiple moons. Wait, do they actually block you? Oh no, they're just standing there to let you know, hey, this is odd. Okay, that makes more sense. They're doing that weird effect where they put like snowflakes on the camera, which made sense in Mario 64 because the Lakitu was a literal cameraman. Cool mechanic. You can use it to get air, but you have to be careful to not get bit at the top. Come here, bud. There you go. Aww. There we go. We need him to be over here to make that. Do I get, I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly, but I think that I get additional horizontal distance by throwing my hat without diving at it. It's a very mild amount. It's like punching. Yeah, deep life wisdom. Don't get bit on your way up. Get a little bit of a float, like a little spin. Good to know. Alright, so there's something else I have to get in order to exit the stage. Ooh. A long fall punishment. There it goes. Ben's pawing at my floor light. Point the camera. Well, if I tried to point the camera at it, it would probably be blinded. The light's super bright. Cat cam next time. Come here, dude. Come on. Over here. There you go. Yeah, you get a little bit of a... It's actually very similar to the air spin. Probably wasn't necessary to make any of those jumps, but... I kind of would like to disable the special moons, like the plot moons, from having that animation. I guess they're kind of few and far between. And they point out that, hey, this did something important. This wasn't just like all the other moons you're running into. But they seem pretty arbitrary which ones are special. I'm curious how many optional moons you need to do in each stage in general as a percentage of the number of mandatory moons in order to be able to pilot the Odyssey out. I thought that was a squid for a second. It's cool. Da-na-na-na. Yes, that's correct. 16 by 16 generic. If you shoot me a Discord direct message. I haven't been doing any stream maintenance stuff like chat badges, and probably won't until I return to streaming full-time. But if you send it to me, I can go back through my Discord messages when I bring it back. Give the player something to screenshot. Oh, Squid, it's a kid. Alright, glad we kept all the Goombas. But we maybe could have gotten that through backflipping and wall jumping shenanigans. Whoops! Didn't even see the little shadow. That's gonna be wall jump shenanigans. Thank you, Shadows, for pointing it out. That's clever. That's pretty neat. Don't think I need these guys for anything else, but just in case. I heard it's alright, the newest Assassin's Creed, because Ubisoft actually took a couple of years to make one for once, instead of making it an annual property. That's always bummed me out about the Assassin's Creed titles, from what little I've seen of them. Yeah, Nintendo's kind of been hitting it out of the park this year, huh? You could argue that the Switch launch was rocky and that there was really only one game for it, but I still think that was a really wise business decision to get all the hardcore people to compete over consoles early on, and then there should be, hopefully, no shortages at Christmas. I got a little TV back there, that's cool. Oh, hell yeah, Sornus. Nice. So what's Golf Story like? It's an RPG? Or is it a golfing game, primarily? It seems like it's not just a golfing game. Hey. Fight the bed of chaos. Right. I was kind of bummed. I actually clicked on a screenshot. It was an R Gaming or something that was trying to make a joke about Mario fighting a Dark Souls boss. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool looking, and I made the mistake of looking on the comments. Alright. Can't start without one more racer. I could be that racer. The answer to both questions is simply yes. So, like, it's an RPG in the sense that there's a story and you gain levels and experience and stuff? Like, do you actually play golf? You know, like a Tiger Woods simulator kind of approach to it? That's cool. Yeah. Looking forward to it now. If you wall jump, hold forward, you throw Cappy at the wall. Oh, good looking out. Let me give it a shot. Oh, yeah. Right on. That's cool. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess probably do some shenanigans with that, huh? What's the most efficient form of locomotion in this game? Is it still long jumping, or is it jumping at the hat like that? Yeah, I might grab Stardew Valley. We're going to Columbus next weekend to help Kat and Donovan, who are moving in with us, start their move. And we're going to have a long drive because we're going to be driving basically a moving van back with a bunch of their stuff. So I might bring the Switch in Stardew Valley. A good car game. Mostly long jump. Wait, how does rolling work again? I think I did it accidentally at one point. Oh yeah. So what's the advantage to rolling? Oh, the way to go back. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. You go faster downhill. Okay. Keep that in mind. And you can wall jump or long jump out of it. Gotta go find the racer. I shouldn't have jumped down. Guess I just didn't talk to him before. Oh, timed rolls when you see the yellow flash. I see. Oh, so it's a very specific timing each time you... That's cool. Does the boost increase over time with each successful press? I thought he was giving me permission to take his place. Okay. Let me try going in one more time. It's interesting that that creates a zone transition. It must be preloading the rest of the stage. Maybe I can possess him? Oh, because he's not wearing a hat. Doy. There's... I forgot that I could use portals in a portal game. Alright, we'll do this race and then we'll call it for today. This has been really fun though. Yo, dog. Let's do it. Multi-moon. Yeah, right? It seems really simple. You should just try throwing your hat at stuff if you're confused. Yeah, I thought he was gonna opt out and I was just gonna roll through it. Oh, I see. That makes me slower. So we want to be on the snow track. Roger. Looking for a uniform, right? Since they'd used that earlier, right? Yeah, I didn't even catch that he was missing a little snow cap. Wonder if there's a speed boost if you press it at the right time. Oh, do you get like a speed boost if you press the button right as you land in the ground or something? So I was seeing a little sparkle. How many? Oh, it's 3. Oh god. Oh god. That was bad. I like the flashing on your place indicator when you change positions. It's very polished looking. It's got a little sound effect to go with it because Nintendo rocks its sound design. Possible AI rubber banding hype. Although maybe less so now that I'm in the lead. First try, alright. Yeah, I'm not sure how it actually is supposed to work. Basically Goron races. Even more... Supersonic Snowman. I like their decision to freeze the world when someone's releasing a multi-moon like that. It's very like Mario 64. It's clearly an intentional stylistic decision. They didn't have to lock him into place when it's moving. It may have been for other reasons, like technological reasons back in Mario 64. Ice Gorons, straight up. They're like Majora's Mask Gorons. Alright, rock and roll. We got a lot done. Call it today. So believe it or not, the HVAC guys are still working on getting our AC working in the dead of fall. They were incommunicado for like 3 months. And I had to threaten to report them to the licensing agency and taking them to small claims court. They finally got back to me. So they're going to be here tomorrow and Friday and possibly early next week, but I would like to play Mario Odyssey at least once a week or so until we beat it. And until we return to the normal streaming schedule, which I'm hoping is going to be sometime in January. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Feel free to throw a host out if you guys see somebody else who's streaming and you've got host throwing access. Have a good rest of your Wednesday/Thursday. Bye, everybody.